Knicks Nation, I hope that you are enjoying your weekend. I also hope that your family is safe and healthy along with you, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food and shelter and clothing, as well as health, are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders, who every day have a goal of saving lives, and those that pick up garbage to keep our places clean and disease-free, as well as those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children who are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia, the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, sex trafficking, and human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators of these things. Double curses on those who profit from these things, and double curses on the perverts that create the demand of which other perverts create the supply. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, homeless in the United States of America today, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Greetings, chat. Greetings, Jose Vasquez, Brother Joe Curry, Michael Drake, V Dash, Crying Fish. Greetings, my brother, Diamond Holdings, Philip Casanovas, Superstar, my brother, Tavares Jody, Beatbox Brown, Cal Levy, my brother Glenn Costin, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is. Roberto Mendez, Project VMG, Mancorn, D, Flavor Phrase, Tomel Lucas, Justin Phillips, Camario Jarvis, Francisco Carrillo, what's up? Francisco Acevedo, what's up? Flizzy Flex, Stoop Kids Studios, Meyer Society TV, Russell Reed, my brother, Senior Beef, DG Films, what's up, y'all? I hope Luke C, what's up? Yashia, my brother, Shalom. I hope all y'all safe and healthy, your family safe and healthy. Russell Reed, John Mark, what's up? And you're enjoying your weekend here in the end of May. Here we are. At first I had started putting this out for 11:45, but that was because we have some friends coming in town for some festivities we got going on this next weekend, and I have to pick them up at the airport, but their plane was delayed, so they're not coming until later. So I got a chance to do this at my usual time, which y'all know between 12:15. What's up, Steph, the Knicks fans, Jose Castillo, Shane Mack from New Jersey, Boston Nick, long time. How you doing, bro? Hey, how y'all doing? So, D.O., how you? Blessings back at you, my brother. Blessings back at you. Okay, so look here. I'm excited. And I'll tell you why I'm excited. I'm excited for this summer with the Knicks. To me, it appears, and we're going to go into detail about this, but it appears that the environment with the CBA, the situation with teams, and the Knicks development are conspiring to make this a possible really good summer for the New York Knicks. A really good summer for the New York Knicks. This is. I'm excited about this, and the thing is, Margaret Edwards, how you doing? Omar, what's up? Gary, how you doing? Guilford McCormick, my brother. Dave Davidson, how y'all doing? Thomas Days, Coach Hauser, what's up? Michael Singleton, Vespasian. I want to say Vespasian, the Roman emperor, but Vespasian. Dre Hoops Talk, what's up? So I'm excited for that, and the reason is, this is the thing. I try to look, as y'all know by now, I try to look at things on a more macro level. What do I mean by that? So 3 years ago, I was happy about the front office team with Tibbs that was put together. And at that point, and since then, I've been expressing to y'all that the goal is what? Long-term sustainable winning. Okay, long-term sustainable win. I don't want to just get a bunch of assets, win 1 year, and then be back at the bottom next year. I want a development situation where the Knicks are always in the conversation for the playoffs and then eventually always threats to take the whole thing. That's what we need. And that takes time. That's why when I start to hear crazy trades, crazy moves, replacing the whole team or half the team, is stupid, because that's what we've been doing before these last 3 years. Okay. Every year, 4 or 5 new players and trying to make it fit. And it just doesn't work. You don't make long-term sustainable moves like that, as we know. Okay. Now, Kendrick Perkins said some very, shalom, organic, shalom. Kendrick Perkins has been saying some very interesting things this season. I don't always pay attention to what Big Perk says, but this season, I like some of the things he come out with. And one of the things he was talking about on Twitter, some of y'all might have heard it the other day, was, forget all this big 2, big 3, develop your team. Okay, develop your team and forget all this, regular season awards and all that. He said, I don't mean nothing in the playoffs. And he pointed to Miami. And if y'all know, I think for the last 3 years, I've been using Miami along with San Antonio as poster children for long-term sustainable winning. Have we not? Y'all can bear witness. We've been using San Antonio, Miami, and Boston actually as poster child for what we're talking about, long-term sustainable winning. What do they have in common? Solid management, solid coaching for the most part, except Boston, pretty much. And then solid draft, solid development, right? And then you add pieces to tweak as you're growing. That's what they've been doing. Of course, San Antonio is now in a rebuilding situation. And as you all can figure out, who they're going to draft. And so here we go again with popping them. Here they come. Okay. Here they come again. All right. So they're going to continue to develop what they do, run their San Antonio program. And you're going to start seeing them regularly in the playoffs again. Okay. That's that. But here we are, and in spite of all the fire tips idiocy, in spite of all the trade everybody idiocy, and start over, I even heard people over the last 3 seasons fire the whole front office. It really gets crazy in Knicks Nation. It really gets crazy. But I'd be remiss and unrealistic if I actually expected patience from New York City. I'd be remiss and I'd be silly if I actually expected patience in New York City. But one of the keys here, good afternoon, Miss Stevenson. One of the keys here is the fact that the Don don't listen to the media, don't talk to the media when he don't want to. I love that. I've been telling you, I like that. He was driving Mark Berman up the wall. Y'all remember, right? Mark Berman said, he won't talk to us. I don't know what he's doing. They was tripping because he keep everything in the inner sanctum. The Don wasn't just telling y'all what he was trying to do. And people keep trying to, and then look. Every time some knucklehead with a platform tells you some rumor about the Knicks, everybody was acting like this is what the Don is doing. And y'all are making mistakes, right? You can't just say, because this idiocy platform with all this money can put out noise and tell you what they think, what they heard from executives, which is BS most of the time. There's a bunch of them, man. Heavy.com, NBA Central, y'all don't even listen to them. I don't know why y'all even pay attention. It's like, in the stock market, right? They have a whole bunch of experts, right? And then one time they did a test, and they had a monkey throw darts at a board of stocks, and the monkey did just as well as the experts. You see, so that if you see every summer these same clowns come out with this same garbage, y'all should figure out, okay, we can just ignore what they're saying. Once in a while they're gonna be right, because like even the monkey throwing the dart gets some right. You know what I'm saying? Knicks fan and ATL. Oh man, thanks already for starting this off, lighting it up with the $20. All right, logged in late this morning. Blessings to all. Great job. Thank you. I appreciate that, Knick fan ATL. Appreciate dedication to true Knick fan. Anyways, did I miss anything? No, we just started, my brother. We just started. We just getting warmed up right now. Just getting warmed up. Right. And the whole ESPN crew, oh my gosh, man. Anyway, let's get back to business. So I got a whole bunch of notes here I want to go over with y'all. Okay. And I want to also thank some of y'all for some of you comments that you comment when I do my videos, because you know what? Some of y'all really help me. Some of y'all really help me, and we're going to talk about that. Some of y'all really help me. Some of y'all, you know, like I said, you should get help for that drug problem. And if you got hate for like tips or somebody, go see a psychiatrist. Maybe they could lay on his couch, he can help you. But some of y'all really help me. And I'm gonna lay it out to you. Some of y'all really help me, okay? So we're going to talk about that. Man, stop with Roby. Come on, man. Roby is a trade chip, pure and simple, Lord. Why y'all get, I love that y'all get psyched for every scrub they sign. What, all of a sudden Roby's 20 and 10? Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Now, and that's another thing. I be saying some general stuff, right? And some of y'all be like, why are you talking about me like that? And I'd be like, who are you? Like, I'm not now, because you know what? Don't think of it like this. Look here. When you say something, some of y'all, when you say something, you got to understand it's probably 10 other people saying the same thing. And I don't really figure out which one. There are some that are on knucklehead levels above most people. And those guys I remember, right? There are some that's just continue. See, look here. Some people think they being real by being negative, right? But being real, and tell me if y'all agree with me. Okay, listen to what I'm about to say. Being real has both positive and negative. There's a balance to being real. Is that correct? So if somebody comes and they're always negative, they never have anything positive to say, that's a hater. That's not real. That's a hater. Okay, that's a hater right there. So and so some people don't realize that everything they type is negative and dark and foreboding. And I'd be like, you a hater? No, I'm just being real. No, you're not being real. You're depressed. Don't take no drugs for it because you apparently on drugs. But get some help. You understand? Because you got to be balanced. Like, for example, we're going to talk about possible Julius Randle trades. Okay. Now, let me just say this. I want to say this very clearly. I'm not talking about possible Julius Randle trades because Julius Randle is trash. I'm not doing that. See, some of y'all need to crap on somebody to justify a move. That's not the reason we're talking about Julius Randle trades. We're talking about Julius Randle trades because he's a piece to the puzzle that doesn't really fit right. He doesn't really fit right with the current puzzle. That's why. And it just so happens that there are pieces out there that would fit better. And there are teams that he would fit better with. You understand? It's not that he's trash. He's all NBA. He can't be trash. He's one of the top 15 players in the NBA. All right? So it's not that he stinks. It's just that he's a piece to this puzzle of the Knicks championship aspirations that just doesn't fit. But there's other teams he would fit better with. Okay? But somebody say NBA by default. No, man. Even if he was, NBA, all NBA is top 15. Let's say he was top 25. He'd still be really good. There are 450 NBA players. If you're top 25, you're probably in the top 5% of the NBA. That's really good because the NBA is the best league of basketball in the world. Okay, so let's not crap on somebody to try to justify what we want done. That seems to be the thing. Somebody wants to change Thibodeau and they start listing all of these negatives about Thibodeau as if any coach that came in here wouldn't have negatives. And conveniently forget the brother led us to two playoff appearances in the last 3 years when we haven't seen that since 2013. Come on. So we're trying to be more balanced and real here. So let's talk about why is this summer the summer for the Knicks to make moves. First of all, there are some really good players available. That's number one. See, a lot of times people be talking about trade scenarios, and they're always bringing up players that are not only not available, but their teams have no intention of letting them go. Like Zion Williamson. Why did he gained some weight, and y'all think, oh, let's go get Zion? No, you can't. This ain't NBA 2K. Again, when you evaluate a trade scenario, try your best to think that you are the GM on the other team. And any move can cost you your job. Okay? So you have to really look at this executive. So looking at New Orleans Pelicans. Right now, New Orleans, this is what they got. They starting five: McCollum, Trey Murphy III, Ingram, Jones, and Valanciunas. They got Dyson Daniels, Josh Richardson, Najee Marshall, Jackson Hayes, Larry Nance Jr. on the bench. So look here. You take out Herbert Jones and you put in a healthy Zion Williamson. That team is top 4 in the West. So you're one player that you already have away from being top 4 in the West. Why would you think they're going to trade that guy? Okay? No, Zion ain't pulling no car weak. Stop it. He just needs to know how to eat right. He just needs to learn how to eat right. That's what he does. He needs a dietitian. In fact, he needs a team of dietitians. He needs keto. That's what he needs. Okay? That's all he needs. And if you are New Orleans and you just invested over what is this contract? 150 million, 200 million? If you just invested something like 150, 200 million in this guy, you're not doing that because he gets overweight on 2 seasons and he's off. You get this guy healthy, you could go to the Western Conference Finals. My man, Cherokee Indian from Brooklyn. Thank you, my brother, for the $5. I quote Nick Vale by saying, ship out Julius in the package first class with RJ and Brunson stamps. You crazy. You crazy. And then Brandon Ingram. What the hell? Brandon Ingram with Zion? Are you crazy? Let me ask you a question. Would you want that? Would you want a healthy Zion with Brandon Ingram on the other side? And then you got Trey Murphy III as your 2 guard? And McCollum as your point? Would you want that? Of course you would. So why would you, in any pleb scenario, think they want to trade this guy? Who's under contract? That's what I'm talking about. Let's get away from NBA 2K. That's all I'm saying. Play it in the privacy of your home or whatever, but don't come with these scenarios. Okay? Don't come with that. My point being, if you are a GM that has invested between 150 and 200 million in Zion Williamson, you're not just going to give up on him because of the fork. You're going to try your best to get all kinds of dietitians. You're going to have somebody watching what he eats. You're going to have somebody working out with him because that's a big investment. Okay? So let's, stop it with this stupidness, okay? So you're not getting Cat. You're not getting Cat. We're going to talk about Cat. You're not getting Zion. You're not getting Ingram. You're not getting Miles Bridges. Why the hell do we want Miles Bridges? The boy beat up his wife. You're talking about New York City. You don't think he's going to be asked about that at every single game? You don't think that's going to be a distraction in the locker room? I don't care how much he reforms his attitude. That is going to follow us. We do not need that in New York. You understand? So stop it with the Miles Bridges, wife beater that's just trying to avoid jail. Stop it. We have a new culture. We're not yet like a team like Miami or San Antonio could take a Miles Bridges because they have an established long-term culture. We're just building ours. And we're in New York. We in New York. You know what that means? Can you see the press conferences every day? So what do you think about beating up your wife? Are you still angry? You were off today. Did the off-court stuff have anything to do with that? Imagine that for 82 games. And not to mention the booze. You got to be crazy. You don't want that. So forget Miles Bridges. That's not coming. The Don ain't that stupid. Okay? No, that's not coming. Okay. Now, So there's a number of good players available. We're going to talk about Siakam, OG Anunoby, DeMar DeRozan, KP, a number of good players that may be available. Okay. And then, we're going to talk about what we're not going to do, which I've already mentioned some of them. Now, not only are a number of good teams available, because of the cap situation coming next year, teams want to trim their payroll. Teams want to trim their payroll to get ready. Okay. Teams want to trim their payroll. You're hearing me. So because of that, they're going to be looking to unload some players that don't fit their timeline. And that really, when you're talking about trying to win a championship, right? You need players that fit your timeline. Let's look at Miami. I believe Miami's probably going to the finals. It's going to be Miami against Denver in the finals. But look at the ages, look at where they're positioned, look at how they flow on their rotation. They got a bunch of guys that fit the right timeline, that are at the right part of their careers, in the right long-term system, and hungry. So some teams, not most teams, don't have that. That's why Miami is doing what they're doing. Okay. So right now you have a number of teams: Chicago, Washington, Toronto, right, that are looking to either retool, rebuild. And so that means availability of certain players. Again, people are looking at the Lakers and they're looking at how Rui is playing and Austin Reeves, and they're saying, maybe we can get them. Again, ask yourself, why would the Lakers allow these two guys to leave when they're playing such big roles in the playoffs? The Lakers would not be in the conference finals without both of those guys. They would not be there. I don't care about LeBron and AD. If they didn't have Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, they would not be where they are. Okay? They would not. So, yeah. So therefore, why would you even think about those two guys? They're not available. All right? They're not available. Okay? Not available. All right. The third reason that this is a good summer for the Knicks is the development of our youngins. Our youngins were puppies 3 years ago and last year, and they were developing. And it's common in Knicks Nation for people to hate their own players and always think somebody on the other side is better than what you got. And then, of course, in the Knicks media hate, nobody in the Knicks don't have a roster. I don't know how they're going to do anything with this roster. You've heard this term before. I don't see how the Knicks can go anywhere this year with that roster, as if it's a bunch of scrubs. Okay? All they did was 4 seed 3 years ago, 5th seed this year. All Tom Thibodeau did was win 53% of his games in the last 3 years. That's all. Okay. 125 and 111 the last 3 years. I don't know how they're going to go anywhere with that roster, right? So we developed and drafted well. And we have a group of youngins that's ready to ball. Okay? Not only that, starting again with Steve Mills and going through with the Don, they have 11 number 1 picks going forward. Their own, as well as 4 protected picks. Okay? So, yeah. So now that's another reason it's time. Okay. And so when you have a team like this, Knicks Nation, listen carefully now. You don't need to overhaul the whole team. You need to tweak this team. Did you hear what I said? You need to tweak this team. You don't need to overhaul this team. You need to tweak it. Okay. Okay. Y'all got me? So we're not trying to overhaul the whole team. Now, speaking of players to be replaced on the Knicks, right? Speaking of players to be replaced, if we were playing spades, how many of y'all know how to play spades? How many of y'all play spades? If you're from New York, you got to know how to play spades, right? If you're from New York, right? So if you play in spades, you basically, if you have 4 guys, 4 people, you have 2 people on the team, right? And you have 2 people on the other team, right? So somebody say, well, how many books you got, right? You say, well, I got 2 and 2 possibles. And you know what I'm saying? So the guy is telling you, I got 2 short things and 2 that I might be able to turn into books. So I have 4 altogether. I got 2 and 2 possibles. If you're talking about the players to be replaced on the Knicks, you're talking about 2 and 2 possibles. That's what you're talking about. You hear what I said? You're talking about 2 and 2 possibles. Now, we don't count Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, as of July 1st, that $15.5 million comes off the books. He's not part of this equation. Okay? He's not part of this equation. But the 2 that definitely need to be moved are Julius Randle and Evan Fournier for different reasons. Let's talk about Randle. Julius Randle is 28. He's going to be 29 in November, I think, in his prime. He's a 25-10 guy from this year. 2 out of the last 3 years, he's been All-Star and All-NBA. His career numbers are 19-9. Okay, he's got 28 million, and 29 million in the next 3 years. Okay, this is a very movable contract because of the number. Right now, you're looking at, we talked about Karl-Anthony Towns, and I purposely put those numbers out there for y'all to hear them, and y'all caught it. I appreciate that. Some of y'all say, oh, hell no, right? Because I was like, he's going to get 36. He's going to get 39. He's going to get 53, 56, 61. And y'all was like, what? No. Thank you. Thank you. If you go back and look at that video, how many times did I repeat how much money Karl-Anthony Towns is getting ready to make? So comparatively speaking, though, the point I'm making is Julius is cheap. You got me. Julius is cheap, comparatively speaking. Okay, he's cheap. So you got Julius Randle at 28 million for the next 3 years, basically. He's really supposed to get 25, but he made All NBA. So he's probably going to get another 3 million in bonuses. So he's talking about 28 million. Okay. So you can move him, especially the teams that want to rebuild or redo. You understand? So again, that's what I'm saying. I wanted to thank y'all because y'all caught it. And some of y'all was coming back and saying, nah, not for that kind of money. I was like, right. Not only that, listen, if you don't know the Don by now, you ain't never going to know him, right? If you don't know me by now, you never going to know me, right? Y'all know that song, right? If you don't know me by now, you will never know me. Right? So the Don ain't going to be spending those 60 million on one dude. He ain't doing that. Y'all know me. Y'all know him, right? He's not doing that. He is not doing that. Unless that dude is definitely in his prime superstar. He'll do it for that. Like, but that's very rare. So Thomas, I know, right? But y'all caught me. So that's why we are not trying to get Karl-Anthony Towns. Okay. So Julius Randle, though, is a movable deal. Julius Randle is 2-time All-NBA. Now, let's be real about it. Even though he's 2-time All-NBA, okay, I want us to at least have a majority agreement that he's not as valuable as just any other All-NBA guy. Like, even though he's officially All-NBA, you're not going to get All-NBA talent necessarily back for him. You understand that? You're not going to get equal value, in other words, talent-wise, necessarily back for him. But what you could get for him, is fit. And fit, look at Miami, fit is important. You got me? Fit is important. So you could get back a better fit. And that's why we're even discussing this, because Julius Randle just simply doesn't quite fit. That's all. That's the only reason we're talking about this. Okay? So for him, we're talking about Siakam, and we'll talk about why in a moment. OG Anunoby. We're talking about this for Julius Randle. We're talking about him in the morning. DeMar DeRozan. That's but still possible. And of course, my favorite of the whole crew, Kristaps Porzingis. And then, of course, we're talking about possibly Jeremy Grant And we'll talk about him also in a moment. We'll talk about Jeremy Grant, although I kind of feel like Grant is not as strong. Now, some of y'all want to talk about Jaylen Brown, and I'm telling you that's not going to happen. The reason I don't think it's going to happen, again, you're looking at Jaylen Brown. He's in his prime. He's like 26, 27, right? And he's going to get a supermax from Boston. And they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. If you're Jaylen Brown, you're thinking, tell me if I'm wrong, I can get $200 million for staying here. And we're in the Eastern Conference Finals. We can make it back. Maybe we get better and come back next year. You understand? Maybe we get better, bring back the same crew, and we'll just be continuity-wise better, and we'll come back and try it again next year. You understand what I'm saying? So the likelihood of Brown, even though he's going to be unrestricted next season, is very small, especially for the Knicks. It's a $200 million deal. He's a really good player, obviously, but I don't know. I don't want to say the Celtics don't appreciate him. Diamond Holdings. Let me ask you all a question. Diamond, let me ask you, brother. Let me ask you a question, all right? Because what you just stated, a lot of people feel like that. Let me ask you a question. You're the guy in the front office. I forgot his name. You're the guy in the front office of the Celtics. Would you offer $200 million to a guy you don't appreciate? Would you offer $200 million for a guy you don't appreciate? No, you wouldn't. Brad Stevens. So if Brad Stevens is going to offer him $200 million, believe me, he appreciates Jaylen Brown. Okay? And I have to say, I mean, tell me what y'all think, but Brown has performed at a higher level than Tatum in this series against the Heat. He's shown up more than Tatum has. I don't know what's up with Tatum, but he's just not doing what you expect him to be doing in this playoff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not letting Brown walk if I'm Brad Stevens. Here's the $200 million. Tell me if you want it. And I don't think the Don is going to pay $200 million unless you're trading RJ. And I don't want to trade RJ. Okay. Like I said, we got two in the possible. RJ ain't on that list. Okay. RJ ain't on that list. So no, I'm not doing that. Okay. So Randle, to me, he's the best candidate. You could subtract, if you substitute Siakam for him, OG, DeRozan, Grant, KP, any of those cats in the starting five for Randle, you'd have beat Miami, and you can go further. You're going to be better next year. Like I said, if they keep even the same team, if the Knicks don't make no moves and keep the same team, if they're able to this year, they're 51 wins. They're plus 50 next year. They're going to win plus 50. Okay? They're going to win plus 50. So that's what I'm saying. So if you're going to trade Randle, you got to get a piece that fits better. Siakam fits better. OG and Anunoby fits better. DeRozan fits better. Grant fits better. KP fits better. Any of those guys will fit better and help the team go forward. Like I said, I told y'all this in the beginning of the season. I said we're going to get 45 this year, top 6. Then I told y'all, same team next year, 50 plus, because continuity is important. Very important in the NBA. That's another thing Miami has right now. So does Boston, but continuity. So is Denver. Continuity is important. Okay, very important. So, you know, the Knicks, you can't be changing 4 or 5 players and thinking you're going to come back with the same team. Okay, one of the great things I'm excited about this summer is, like I mentioned, you know, you're going to have Brunson and Grimes working together all summer. I'm very excited about that because you're talking about a probable, a possible second coming of Dame, Dollar, and McCollum right there. That's what you're talking about because that's how good I think they could be. Shoot, Grimes and Brunson working together all summer. Okay, all right. Now, the next definite is Fournier. Okay, Fournier. You got to move this $19 million. Now, somebody was mentioning Bogdanovich, and I look closely at Bogdanovich. Really good player, but he's Fournier. Bogdanovich is Fournier. Okay, maybe slightly better defensively, but Bogdanovich is Fournier. Okay, high IQ guy, can shoot the rock. You know, about the same age, in the 30s. You know, very good shooter. So if you're going to get Bogdanovich, you might as well keep Fournier. Okay, so Bogdanovich doesn't make no sense, right? You might as well keep Fournier. But you got him on an expiring deal. And the only reason you would keep Fournier is if you traded IQ for draft capital and then kept Fournier and put Fournier in the second unit. That's the only reason you would keep Fournier. Other than that, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen because I don't want to lose Emmanuel Quickley if I don't have to. So I'm hoping against hope that Quick will accept the 6-man role and take this boatload of money the Knicks can ready to throw at him. And they are going to throw at him for the Knicks. I mean, boatload of money. I'm seeing $80 million for I'm saying 4 years, $80 million for Emmanuel Quickley. If he wants to go start somewhere where he got no shot, then he won't sign the deal and he'll just play one more year. Either way, if they don't trade him, he'll play one more year in his current contract, and then we'll deal with him. So it depends on IQ, and I'm not going to tell you he's going to. I don't think so, Joe Curry. And the reason I said it because he's twice already said publicly he wants to start. So you want to ignore what he said and go with your gut. Go ahead. I hope you're right, but I don't think so. He's already twice said publicly he wants to start. So, okay, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not available. Can we stop losses here? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, say it with me now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not available. He's not leaving Oklahoma City. I know you want him. He's a great player. But Sam Presti is not stupid. So stop it. He's not stupid. He's got a centerpiece. Every ABA team was looking for a guy like that. So he's going nowhere. Stop it. Okay? SGA is going nowhere. Let's get that. Let's be real and get that in our head. You got a centerpiece right there. He's not going nowhere. Okay? Especially this year when they want to see how he runs with the Australian kid and Chet Holmgren. If they can keep Holmgren healthy for 50 games, then they got something. You understand? They may have something. Okay? But no, you're not going to get SGA. He's off the table. Okay? All right. So now, next. No, Rose is not going to the mid-level. You got Deuce. You need to create minutes for Deuce. You need to develop Deuce McBride. You don't want to bring in somebody that's going to take more minutes from Deuce unless you trade Deuce. Let me explain something to y'all that y'all are a little slow about. Did you notice the Lakers against Denver last night? What was killing the Lakers last night? Did you see the game? Any of y'all see the game? What was killing the Lakers last night? What was killing the Lakers? Did you see the game? What was killing the Lakers? What was Jamal Murray? Why was Jamal Murray killing the Lakers? Who was guarding him? Who was guarding Jamal Murray? Who was the guy that was responsible for guarding him? Who was guarding Jamal? You know who it was? It was D'Lo. D'Lo was trying to guard Jamal Murray, and D'Lo was getting shredded. Then they tried to switch and they put Schroeder on Murray, but it was D'Lo that he dropped 30 on in the first half. Why do I bring that up? Don't you understand that the Lakers would love to get a Deuce McBride at $1.8 million? Do you guys understand that? That they would love. Imagine Deuce McBride on Jamal Murray last night. They would love to have that. Okay? That's why you got to develop Deuce. If you had Deuce McBride out there instead of D'Lo, they'd have been better. Okay? They'd have been better. That's what I'm saying to y'all. Some of y'all done got the vision, man. You got to have the vision. Okay? Bring the common sense with the vision. Okay? $1.8 million for Deuce McBride. The Lakers would drool to get that. Okay, they would drool to get that. Craig is not really either or. That's not a solid question. It's not a solid question. Okay, if IQ stays, it's IQ. He's got the seniority. He's already proven. Deuce might be traded, but the Knicks ain't stupid. They're going to keep Deuce because of the money. It's paying minimum. They're paying him NBA minimum right now, so he doesn't need to. No, you're not going to let that go. But you want to find minutes for him. So you don't bring in players to reduce Deuce's minutes. It makes no sense. So all of y'all that keep talking about point guards need to wake up a little bit. That's not going to happen. Okay? And you already got what you need. If you trade IQ, you just slide Deuce up into the rotation. Period. Done. Okay? So that's, let's not get silly with this whole, we got to go get a point guard. No, we don't need one. We got one. We don't need one. Okay? Okay. Yeah, the Lakers are done. They're down 3-0. Denver's going to finish them in the next 2 games. There's just no doubt about it. This is over. This is over. Within the next 2 games, Denver's going to the finals. It's done. Okay? All right. So, Fournier's got to go. Why? You're dropping $15.5 million from D-Rose. And then you're going to get another $19 million if you can move Fournier. Okay? If you can move Fournier, you're going to get another $19 million. All right. Now, possibles. Obi is a possible, and IQ is a possible. See, the 2 definite and the 2 possible. The 2 definite, you need to move Julius Randle this summer. He's your biggest asset. You can get something that fits better for him. You need to move Fournier because you need that money, that $19 million. So between those 2 guys, you're talking about $47 million. Now, the Knicks can't just absorb anybody's contract. They got to match money. Got to match money. Okay, so, and it's got to be, it doesn't have to be dollar for dollar, but I think even 10 to 20%. So they can get a KP, a Siakam, an OG, and they can match money. You understand? They can match money. That's how you get that done. You can't just absorb contracts here. They don't have the room to just absorb contracts. Okay, so now the possibles are Obi. Now, Obi, let's talk about Obi. 10% Blair, thank you. Okay, within 10%. The possible Obi. Why would Obi stay? Well, he don't have no choice. The Knicks can decide, we're going to talk about you next summer. He's under contract. So the Knicks can keep him and talk about him next summer, unless somebody blows them away with a deal. Okay? They're not going to just give away Obi Toppin. Now, and not only that, Obi's not complaining to anybody about starting. Okay, he's not publicly said, as IQ has, that he wants to start. He hasn't said anything like that. So if he continues to be, very happy on the Knicks, then we keep an Obi. Okay, we keep an Obi. And unlike others, I feel Obi can start. I feel we'd be very good shape if Obi starts. It looked different than with Julius. But I'm not like one of these people saying, I don't trust Obi to start. Hell no, I'll start Obi and give him 35 minutes, and we'll be in good shape. Obi will give you 20 and 10. Okay, I did the video and showed you all the stats. Obi will give you 20 and 10. Okay, there's no doubt. So I would keep Obi if I can, unless somebody blows me away with a deal. Okay, if somebody blows me away, then we can talk about it. But that's going to have to be, like I said, like a Siakam. If Ujiri says, okay, we're going to start over, because Ujiri, speaking to Siakam now, why would Toronto do this? It's been already rumored that Fred VanVleet may want to leave. They haven't gotten it done. They were bad this year. They were eighth in the East. They were bad this year. They got Podol, so their choice is they can run it back with the same crew, or they can try to rebuild. If they go to rebuild, they'll be looking at some stuff for Fred VanVleet. Now, the Knicks are not interested in Fred VanVleet because we got Brunson, but the Toronto may be interested in either Obi or IQ, which we also have to, we're looking at. Yeah, that's right. He declined extension. That's right. So that's why he's probably going to be gone. But Siakam, I'm talking about Julius Randle and some other asset, and they could be talking about Obi for Siakam. And that's why Siakam is all NBA, better defender, big game player, can shoot. He's just a better basketball player than Julius Randle. I'm just going to say it like that. Siakam is just a better basketball player. Kyle Kuzma, forget it. I don't want nothing to do with Kyle Kuzma. He only started really playing this year in his contract year. If you have any experience watching the NBA, he's a sure sign of somebody that's going to get the big money and then stop playing. No. Keep his pink behind over there in Washington, or whoever else wants to be the sucker to sign him. The Knicks are not being suckers no more. We no longer on the crack pipe. No. Keep Kuzma. Bye. No. Let's not trip. Hell no. Yeah, we don't want him. No. So let's forget about Kuzma, okay? So Siakam, though, that's a serious situation. Okay, so you can trade Julius, and because you are trading an all-NBA player, it won't cost you as much because what the Knicks have in terms of assets, the biggest thing they got that teams that are rebuilding want is what? Draft capital, right? So I would say Randle for Siakam with some other piece, maybe an Obi or an IQ if they're losing Fred VanVleet, and I would give them maybe 2 number ones, and that would be the deal. Siakam, 2 number ones, Randle, and maybe Obi. That's to me, that's a little bit more than anybody else would offer. So I think we're in good shape there. And if we got that situation, I would do it. It might be too much. I agree with some of y'all. I would probably, maybe hold back. But let's put it this way. I think really, let's talk about fair. I think fair would be 2 number ones and Randle for Siakam. That's what I'm saying. I think that would be fair. 2 number ones and Randle for Siakam. I would do that because Siakam on the Knicks with the same team now, same team, but you just replacing Siakam with Randle, Eastern Conference Finals. That's what we're talking about. Eastern Conference Finals. Okay? That's what I'm saying. And good luck. We don't have to gut the team. That's a tweak right there. But it's a big tweak. You hear what I'm saying? That's a big tweak. That's why I like Siakam. Let's talk about KP. KP is my favorite one of all of these. Not only was he a Knick before, he's repentant. I like a repentant dude, a dude that knows he made a mistake and has matured. That's KP. Some of y'all still thinking that he was, 23 or 22 and acting like, no, this is not the same KP. He's a different dude right now. Okay. And some of y'all going to hang on this, he's so injury prone. I understand he's not an 82 game player, but we don't need him for 82 games. If he played 65 this year, if we can get him for 60, I'm happy. If we get KP for 60 in the playoffs, good. You know why? Because that's 22 games starting for Obi Toppin. That's 22 games Obi Toppin starts. Not only that, Obi will get at least 20 minutes a game. That's a whole different world right there. Think about that. That's a whole different world right there. He starts 22 games. He gets more than 20 minutes a game because you're going to have Obi at the 4. There's going to be times you're going to have KP at the 5. Y'all. And some of y'all want to say, well, he's not a great defender. That's not true. He's a great help defender. He don't have the lateral movement. He never did have the lateral movement. But if you put him out there with Mitch Rob, what are you talking about? Yeah, I think we'd be in good shape. KP is my guy. That's the guy I want. He's been in New York before. He's not fazed by the media. It'll be his redemption trip. This would be really good. Not only that, you ain't got to pay him. You could pay him the same money you're paying Randle. You could pay him the same money you're paying Randle. You ain't got to pay him no $40 million a year. Okay, so you could get KP for you could probably get him 4 years, 120, 4 years, like the same kind of deal you gave for RJ. You could get that, and now you just move Randle. That's it. You know why? Washington don't have the leverage. KP got the leverage. Y'all understand what I'm saying when I say KP has the leverage? Why does KP have the leverage? KP can opt out of the final year of his deal and become an unrestricted free agent. Okay? They've been talking for extensions since March. No deal has been brought forth yet. They've been talking extensions with KP since March. It hasn't happened. Let me say that again. They've been talking extensions with KP since March. It hasn't happened. What does that mean? That means it's 50-50. 50-50, which is, that's a greater chance than the Zion or an Ingram, right? Just 50-50. Okay, it's 50-50 right there. So that's possible. And I like that fit better than all the fits. I like that one. I like that fit better than all the fits. We're not giving up no draft capital. We're just giving up Randle. That's for the $2. No, but we're just giving up Randle. That's it. Yeah. So you get Brunson and KP back together, but you're adding Obi, Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Brunson, Deuce, Hart. What? Hartenstein. Now you may want you may want to sweeten the pot with a Hartenstein since you got Jericho Sims. You may want to sweeten the pot with a Hartenstein. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I'm doing that. Okay, I'm doing that because that again, same team now, but now you starting KP instead of Randle. You're giving Obi more minutes and more starting opportunities on the same team. Top 4 in the East. Top 4 in the East right there. Top 4 in the East. Bradley Beal. My problem with Beal is twofold. Twofold problem with Beal. Twofold. $200 million deal. That's a lot of freaking money. $200 million deal. That's a lot of freaking money right there. That's a lot of freaking money. Number two, you're going to be now sacrificing Grimes' development for Bradley Beal. And I'm not saying Bradley Beal's no star. He's a stud now, but I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Yeah, I'm not doing it. No. Bradley Beal's really, 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 really good. But no, I'm not doing it. I'm keeping my squad. I'm keeping my squad. I'm not doing it. Nope, not doing it. OG Anunoby. Let's talk about him. I trade Julius Randle for OG Anunoby. Why would I do that? I'd be running smaller. I put RJ at the 4 and OG at the 3 and keep Grimes out there. But you have better defense all around because in spite of RJ's limitations, okay, he's a better defender. At least he tries harder than Julius Randle. Can we agree to that? RJ tries harder on the defensive end than Julius, okay? He tries harder, okay? I would have OG on one side, RJ on the other, Mitch Robb in the middle, Grimes and Brunson. I would do it. And then I'd have I would start, Obi starts at least 20 games, I'd say 20, 22 games, and he plays because OG Anunoby ain't no 82-game player either. He ain't no 82-game dude. So we good again. I like OG. OG's no superstar now, but he is very solid, and y'all know, top-notch defender. Very high IQ, top-notch defense right there. So, hey, listen, I'm all in. Okay, and he's even cheaper than Siakam. So yes, I would not mind OG Anunoby. So we're talking about Kristaps, Siakam, OG, one of those. And some of y'all get greedy. So let's get both of them. No, you can't get both of them. See, John Mark, I already beat you to it. You can't get both of them. No, they're not injury prone and too old or expensive. They're all going to be in the $28 to $30 million range. They're not too old. KP is 27. Stop tripping. OG's 25. Stop tripping. Okay? Yeah, we don't need everybody to score in isolation. That's what makes superstars. You don't need everybody to score in isolation. Okay? In fact, we need less isolation and more ball movement. That's what we really need. Less isolation and more ball movement. Who the hell cares if they can't score in isolation? Mingo Kersey, thanks for the $5. Brunson, Beal, RJ Randle, Mitch doesn't sound good. Yeah, it does. Sounds great. But I'm not hurting Grimes. I got a budding star in Quentin Grimes, and I don't need to move him to the bench for us to go to the next level. So I'm not doing it. And then adding $200 million to my payroll? No. It sounds good. They made 2K-wise. Hell yeah. But I'm not doing it. Versus you can trade Randle and get a guy that your payroll don't change. It's the same. Your payroll don't change. It's the same, right? So why are you doing that? No, just because it fits nice on paper, you don't always want to do it. But I'm telling you, KP is better than y'all think, not as injury prone as y'all think, and fits way better than Julius Randle. That, I'm giving you the raw Hebrew wisdom on this one. Trust me, KP would fit really good in that lineup. Really, really good. The Knicks would be dangerous, man. Really dangerous. That's what I'm telling y'all. Really dangerous. Okay. Here's a name that we haven't talked about before, really. And I'm going to do a video on it. We haven't really discussed it, in detail, but I want to talk about it. This is a guy that's a possible. He's not a sure thing, obviously, but he's a possible. And he would cost some money. He would cost some money, and he's very expensive, very expensive. You got 2 more years left on his deal. He is a solid star, budding superstar, and I'm talking about PG-13. I'm talking about PG-13. Okay, I'm talking about PG-13. All right, so the thing is about not Dame Dollar, PG. We're not talking about point guard. You can know right now. I can just give you a hint. I'm not talking about any point guard. So we got our point guards. I'm not worried about point guards. Okay, but we're talking about PG-13. Now, 46 million and 49 million over in the next 2 seasons. That's a lot of freaking money, man. It's a lot of freaking money, man. Yeah, I hear you. I hear y'all. I mean, that's a lot of freaking money. And right now, PG-13 is he's 33. He's 33. You know, I mean, you're talking about the age 34 and age 35. Oh my God. See, here's the thing about PG-13 though. It depends on how much he costs, right? Now, let me ask you all this. Listen to me carefully, right? If I said PG-13 straight up for Julius Randle, would you do it? Would you do it? If I said PG-13 straight up for Julius Randle, would you do it? Would you do it? Raphael says no. Georgeson says yes. Superstar says yes. Jose says no. All right, so that's what I'm saying. It's a question mark. I think at best we could say it's a question mark because you're right. PG is more injury prone even than KP. You know, if you worry about KP being injury prone, you really got to worry about PG-13. But at this, yeah, I think you're right. Let's do a poll on that. But you know what though? What I think the thing is that PG-13 is way better than Julius Randle. Way better than Julius Randle. Way better than Julius Randle. That's all I'm saying. Way better than Julius Randle. That's all I'm saying. Here's the poll. PG-13 for Randle. Straight up, because that's what it would. It wouldn't even be no draft capital. That's what we're talking about. PG-13 for Randle, straight up. I mean, there's the vote. Would y'all do it or would you win? Because PG-13 is way better than Julius Randle. He's a way better playoff player than Julius Randle. He's just a better two-way player than Julius Randle. He's just a better daggone player. But he's 33. And you're talking about 90 million over 2 years. You're talking about 90 million over 2 years. I don't know. That's kind of tough, kind of tight. Put it this way. At the very least, he would not be at the top of my free agent list, right? I mean, I'd like KP or Siakam or OG or Grant before that. Okay, I'd like any of those guys before that. But it's almost like an Amari Stoudemire situation, except he's not quite as bad health-wise as Amari was. But damn. Oh, I definitely prefer KP. I definitely prefer KP. I love Grant. Grant is right underneath KP, but I definitely, to me, KP is that dude. Some of y'all can't see it because you're so hooked up on what happened years ago and on his injury history. And I get it. But to me, KP right now, at this stage of his life, at age 27, he's that dude, man. And I'm telling you, we'd go far with him. Yeah, Embiid, like I said. Now, this is another thing I wanted to bring up to y'all. Speaking of Embiid. Okay, look. I told y'all this 3 years ago, and I'm going to say the same thing now. When Leon Rose and crew looks at possibilities, there's a number that they have in mind for that player. Okay, y'all hearing me? So there's a specific number so that if the opposing team is asking more in terms of number and assets than Leon's willing to pay, we should know right now Leon's going to walk away. Okay, so when it comes to Embiid, I am not giving up all my youngins for Embiid. I would trade Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein, and some draft capital for Embiid. Maybe 4 picks. I would maybe do 4, 3 unprotected. I would go there, and that's heavy, but I'm not trading all my youngins for Embiid. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not. Okay. Okay. I'm not doing it. So I don't, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Well, if we got PG-13, he'd play on the wing, and I'd move. I have the option of moving RJ to the 4 and then having Obi play more minutes, which he would get because PG-13 ain't an 82 game player either, right? So that's another situation where I'm playing. If I can get 50, 60 games out of PG-13, Obi starts at least 22 games, Obi gets more minutes. That's what I'm talking about. So if we were going to get PG-13, he'd start on the wing, either 3 or 2, and you have Grimes out there with him, and then you're going to have RJ at the 4. That's what I'll do. I'm not worried. That's how I would do it. Yeah, he's 33. He's 33. That's the thing. He's 33, man. That's right, Jerry. Thanks for the $2. Exactly. KP can be without the ball as well. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I like the KP movement. It's solid. All you crying for another shooter. I'm not one of these crying for another shooter. I really don't give a crap about another shooter. I like what we got. All we got to do is have these guys play together one more season, and we'll be good. All those guys. Grimes is going to be better. Deuce is going to be better. Hart's going to be better. IQ is going to be better. Everybody's going to be a step better next year. Y'all got to take that into consideration when you're whining about shooting. That whining about shooting is what got us stuck with Fournier. Calm down with that. We'll be all right. But KP solves that problem. KP solves that problem. He can play the 4. He can play the 5. He don't need the basketball. He has a high IQ. He's a great help defender. He's a free agent. I'll take KP first. That's my guy. Okay. Now, Grant, talking about Grant. Some of y'all forget. Some of y'all remember the bubble from 2 years ago when Denver was in the conference finals 2 years ago, and they were just a step away from being in the finals. And the reason they weren't in the finals is because Murray got hurt. Y'all remember that? Jamal Murray hurt his knee in the bubble, and that's what cost them a finals trip. Y'all remember that? Tell me if you remember that. Denver from 2 years ago, they were just they were real close to beating the Lakers and going to the finals. Jamal Murray wrecked his knee, and that was who was their defensive stopper that summer? Who was the guy that they put on the best offensive wing or the best guy? Who was that guy for Denver? It was Grant. Grant was the defensive stopper for Denver. Okay, that was the guy. Some of y'all forgot about that. I heard people say Grant don't play in the defense. I was like, what? Y'all don't remember? I mean, this dude can D, man, definitely. And what he wanted to prove when he went to Detroit was that he had offensive game, which he showed. He got offensive game. Okay, so if you bring him to New York and you put him at the 4 spot, you good. I just don't know what he would cost. Okay, we'd have to move Randle again. See, Randle have to move, and we have Grant. Okay, so we see Victor De La Cruz. Thank you, brother, for the $5. I appreciate that. But that we'd have to move Randle, and we'd get Grant. And like I said, KP is 1, Grant is 1A. I have no problem with Grant. I have no problem with Grant. No, Grant would be the 4. Grant plays the 4. That's what he did 2 years ago in Denver, 3 or whatever it was. He played the 4, and he was a lockdown defender at the 4. Okay. Let me just look him up. Has he ever been on an All-NBA defensive team? Let me just look him up. Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant. Let me just take a look here. Because he's a really good defender. No, he's never been on an All-NBA defensive team, but he's really good defender. I'll take Grant. Yeah, Grant could play. No, he hasn't, but Grant could play defense. I saw it in Philly and in Oklahoma City. He made his rep in Oklahoma City. And then he came to Denver as a free agent, $90-something million, and they had him there. And he played his butt off. And they was one step away, one Jamal Murray injury away from going to the finals in the bubble that year. Okay, so yeah, he could play some defense. He'd be infinitely better defensively than Julius Randle. I mean, not even close. He wouldn't be, the rebounder that Julius is, but that's okay. We can make that up. But I really think we can make that up, but he would be infinitely better on defense than Julius Randle. He would and that would bring the whole Knicks squad up level on defense. Russell Reed, thanks for the $5. Give me KP or Grant. Avoid with Jerry fleecing Tibbs. Wouldn't know what to do with PG-13 load management. Yeah, load management requirement. That's right. I agree with that. I just wanted to bring it up because he's a possible. Okay, he's a possible, but you're right. Just like Cat, with all that money. I don't think so. But it's not Tibbs who Jerry will be dealing with. Just to correct you a little bit, Russell Reed. It's not Tibbs who Jerry will be dealing with. He'd be dealing with the Don. And I got all the confidence in the world in the Don. Ainge couldn't rip off the Don. The Don said, go kick Sam, bro. Let me sign RJ and roll with this. Don said, no thanks. That's what I'm saying. The Don, when the Turk came in and wanted to do business with the Don, and then he said, listen, we can turn this $1 million into, and the Don said, of course I can't. I'm not going to go with you on this. But since our interests don't conflict, I wish you the best. That's what the Don did with Ainge last year. Since our interests don't conflict, I wish you the best. And that's what he would do with Ujiri. See, it's not Tibbs dealing with Ujiri. It's the Don with his crew, with Rose, with Brock Aller, with the crew, Perrin. No, we good. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But it would be a whole summer of wasted time trying to deal with Ujiri. He'd keep you occupied for the whole summer, just like Ainge did last year, until you have to walk away. Okay, while he's trying to gauge other teams. So yeah, but KP or Grant, both those cats top of the list. Let's talk about DeRozan. Ace of Spade, non-Knick related. How does Denver match up with Miami? Denver's better than Miami. This is the problem. And I have last year, not this year, the year before this one, I felt like Embiid should have been the MVP. This year, I felt like the Joker should have been the MVP, and they kind of switched it. So they gave it to the Embiid this year when I felt like it should be the Joker. This is the thing about the Joker. He is a generational talent. The Joker is generational. He's a generational talent. So Bam is going to have to really, his hands are going to be full trying to play with him. Not only that, what has happened quietly, y'all, is two very high draft picks. Michael Porter Jr. was a lottery pick, but could have went even top 5 if it wasn't for his back. And then you had the other kid that they got from Orlando, out of Arizona. What was that boy's name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. He came out of Arizona for quietly. These two guys have become stars, man. Quietly, these two guys have become stars without anybody really noticing. These two kids are now, what's that boy's name? Aaron Gordon. Quietly, Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. have become really, really good. Aaron Gordon could only dunk when he was in Orlando. That's all he could do. That's why they traded him. But not no more. He plays lockdown defense. He can hit open jump shots, and he can still jump. So you got those two guys, along with the Joker. They're too much for Miami. In Miami, look, Miami's an AFC, but really they're not. But I'm saying that officially that's what they did, 44-37. You got to give Spoelstra should be, right up there with Mike Brown and be Coach of the Year because, shoot, what a job this guy has done. Oh, my gosh, man. Folks is one, to me, top 2 coaches in the NBA year after year is Eric Spoelstra. Him and Popovich, forget it. Those two guys, right? I'll take them any day of the week. And, of course, Riley ain't stupid enough to let him walk. So, so Denver, I think I like Denver in 6. I give it 6 because Miami's just tough. They're really good. But I like Denver in 6. But, Malone's a great coach. Malone, Brendan's son, Mike. I always call him Brendan Malone because I remember his father. But Mike Malone's a great coach, man. Come out of the Knicks system. Come out of that Pat Riley with Jeff Van Gundy and Tom Thibodeau tree. Same tree. They all come out of the same tree. Yeah, but and then, of course, you're talking about Jamal Murray. Now, Gabe Vincent has won my respect. He's really tough defender. He's a knockdown shooter and a really tough defender. I thought he just did it against the Knicks, but he's doing it against everybody. So Miami would not be no pushover, but I got to give it to Denver. It'll be really good. I feel good for both teams. Jimmy Butler will win his first chip, and he's earned it, obviously. Spoelstra will win a chip without LeBron in them. He's earned that. And then, of course, you on the other side, you got Joker winning the chip with Aaron Gordon, with Michael Porter Jr. And then, of course, there's a journeyman on their team that I really have always admired, and he can never win a chip. What's that boy's name? He can never win a chip. Jeff Green. Jeff Green has always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. Jeff Green. KCP was that, but Jeff Green is the guy. Had the heart problems. Y'all remember? Y'all go back far enough. He was always in the mix, but never the bride, man. I'd like to see Jeff Green get a chip. I'd like to see him get the chip, So that's kind of thing. It's really be a good series to watch. Very high level basketball. The highest level basketball in the NBA is the Final Four, the 2 conference finals, and then the finals. Highest level basketball in the NBA. So it'd be great. It's just going to be fun watching. I loved watching that Laker game last night against Denver. Really, really good game. And just showed Denver's just a superior basketball team, period. Okay, so yeah. No, I don't think Jeff Green got a chip. No, I don't think he had won one. He was on a lot of good teams. He's been on a lot of good teams, but he never got a chip, man. Let me just look this up. Let me see. He's been playing a long time, this guy. Yeah, he was all rookie. He never got a chip. He's never got a chip. He's been on good teams. He's been on Oklahoma City. He's been on good Boston teams. He's been on, I think he was on a LA team at one time. He's been around the league a little bit. No, he never got a chip. No, he never did. So now it would be really good to see him get one. Yeah, get that first ring in the NBA. Denver used to be really good in the ABA, but they kept running into Dr. J. But now it'll be good to see him get a chip, man. See, it'd be good to see him get a chip. So that's what I'm looking forward to there. So really, KP, Grant, Siakam, OG. Now DeRozan. Let's talk about DeRozan. I'm not even discussing the pogo stick. I'm not saying he's not good, but we'd have to trade RJ to get the pogo stick. And I don't want to trade RJ. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't want to trade RJ. No. Okay. Send the art man $20 watching the Celtics Miami series makes me want to trade Randle even more. Yes, me too. Because we were in there every game. Brunson, RJ were consistent. All we needed was that. That's right. You right. I agree 100%. 100%. I agree with you right there. And it wasn't just for the $20 either. I like, man, this poll is 50-50. See, that's how close it is. That's how close it is. 50-50, this poll. 50-50. But DeRozan, another 33-year-old dude. I think this dude, DeRozan, is on a contract where he's getting $30 million. Let me see, DeMar. I think he's getting $30 million this year. Let me just double check. He's on a contract. He's on an expiring $28 million deal. So that, in that regard, it works. He's on an expiring $28 million deal. They're going to want RJ. I'm going to say hell no. I would send them Julius Randle and then start RJ at the 4 and have DeRozan on at the 3 and have him with Grimes out there. That's what I do. You're losing 3-point shooting, but you have, along with Brunson, in my opinion, top 5 in terms of footwork in basketball. Top 5 in terms of footwork in basketball. DeRozan is lethal in terms of footwork. He is lethal. He really is. He's lethal in terms of footwork. Okay, so I mean, you won't have the 3-point shooting. They're going to let him shoot from 3. But he's like Jimmy Butler. To me, Jimmy Butler's game and DeRozan's game are very, very similar. They're both mid-range guys. They find a way to get to their spot. You know what he's going to do, and you still can't stop him from getting to his spots. That's how good he is with the footwork. I mean, he's extremely good with the footwork. So for 1 year, if I'm just losing Randle, I do that deal. What do y'all think? I'm just losing Randle, and I'm putting RJ at the 4, and I'm starting DeRozan with Grimes and Brunson. I don't even talk about Levine. That's a $200 million problem, in my view. That's a $200 million problem. So let's end this poll and talk about a new poll. Okay, you ready? Here we go. All right, here's another one. Ready? We're going to do this one. Okay. All right, here's another poll. Here you go. Tell me what y'all think. DeRozan straight up for Randle. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about RJ. It'd be DeRozan for Randle. Straight up DeRozan for Randle. How many of y'all would do that? Senator man, thanks for the tens. Whoever we get has to be able to play out the duration of Randle's contract and produce. So if we go after DeRozan or PG, they have to be good for 3 years. Also, please, no ding, no ding, no ding. I think if we go after DeRozan, my theory is we keep Obi. So now we have another year of grooming Obi. Said Obi would get a lot more starts. He would get a lot more playing time. And I'm thinking at the end of DeRozan's this last year of his deal, Obi's ready to step in. That's all. I'm grooming Obi. That's my MO here. I'm grooming Obi. That's how I'm thinking of this. Thank you, Russell Reed, for the $5. DeRozan and Brunson will be dancing with the stars. Many ankle breaks. That's right. DeMar's D is not like all NBA. In fact, let's take a look. His defense is not all NBA, but he's definitely a better defender than he's 3 times all NBA. He's 6 times all-star. Remember, he's 33. He will be 34 this year, but it's the last year of his deal. So he's a good defender. He's not a great defender. Let me just look at him on the projections here. He's a good defender, not a great defender. DeRozan. He's a good defender, not a great defender. He's not as bad. He gives effort. He's not as bad as Randle is in terms of effort. But yeah, DeRozan's going to be 34 this year. In August, I'm looking at it. I think he's going to be 34. He's going to be 34 in August. He's going to be 34 in August. It's the last year of his deal. He's going to be 34. He's coming off an all-NBA season. He was all-NBA second team this year. So, yeah, DeRozan's a decent rebounder. The thing is, you're getting, to me, the positive of DeRozan is you got a really high-level player that you only got to pay him for 1 year, and you're going to groom Obi Toppin to take that 4th spot once this guy is done. That's all I'm saying, okay? And you're going to get Obi more minutes this year. He's going to play more minutes. He's going to, start some games. And, again, he's going to start at least 20 games. You're going to get him more minutes. And so that's why I was looking at that. Okay. Yeah, not Draymond Green, no. I think Draymond Green secretly is finished. I think he's really fronting because he got Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, and the crew alongside him. I don't think he's that good anymore. I really don't think so. I think he's one of those guys that really is finished. If he was to go to the Knicks, he would not produce like y'all think he would. And he would be asking for a lot of money. Yeah, so no Draymond Green. I didn't even include him in this scenario. Didn't even include him. So, and then Miles Turner, no. We got Mitch Rob. I'm all in on Mitch Rob. I don't need Miles Turner. I'm not worried about his jump shot. No. Yeah, I'm not worried about his jump shot. Frank Evans, there is help available. You can go to a psychiatrist nearby you, probably, and lay on his couch and talk about your Tibbs hate. Okay? You could go ahead and do that. And I know, I have faith that the shrink might be able to help you with that problem. You talking about getting rid of a guy that got you to the playoffs 2 of the last 3 seasons? What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? On a rebuilding team, he wins 53% of his games. Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? You must be crazy. So we give you if I could recommend a psychiatrist, he might be able to help you with that hate. No, Zion is a pipe dream. The emphasis on pipe. Emphasis on pipe. He's not available. No, it's not going to happen. Brook Lopez is going to re-sign with the Bucks. As long as Giannis Antetokounmpo is on the Bucks, Brook Lopez will stay there. Okay? He's not going anywhere. Dallas is not trading Luka Doncic. He's not going to happen. So let's again see what I'm saying, y'all. People. Some of these people weren't here when we talked earlier, but some of you that were here understand where I'm coming from. People throwing out names that have no shot in hell of coming to the Knicks. No shot in hell. Not thinking about what the other team is thinking about with these players. Need to trade to generate more W's than last year's team. Natural development. Give me Embiid for RJ, Mitch Rob for number 1s, and you can get help for that crack problem. Thanks for the $5 flavor phrase. You can get help for that crack problem. I'm not giving up all that for Embiid. Sorry. That's above the price. That's above our price. All right, so for DeRozan, it looks like there's 105 votes, mostly no. Okay, I hear you. I can understand that for sure. I totally get that. Totally get that. All right, so DeRozan, Knicks Nation says no, and I'm not fighting with y'all. I agree with that. I'm not into Turner. You can forget Bogdanovich, no defense, and the same as Fournier. We might as well keep Fournier. Now, the other possible, and the last guy we're talking about here is Emmanuel Quickley. Now, big question. Will Emmanuel Quickley accept a bench role? Vespasian, thanks for the $2. Will Emmanuel Quickley accept being a sixth man? And remember, he has to accept this for at least the next 3 seasons because Brunson is locked in. He just have 1 of 4 more seasons, got 3 more seasons. That's the Knicks starting point guard. So there is no way Quick is going to start unless Brunson is hurt, which is, he's going to get hurt. He's not an 82-game dude. He's going to get hurt some games. So Quick will get like 10, 15 starts. But does Quick say, okay, I'll take that? Or does Quick say, I want to start? Michael Drake, the last game I saw them play, the Knicks, somebody yelled, KP, come back to New York. And he just turned around and smiled. I don't know if y'all saw that. Somebody said, KP, come back to New York. And he just turned around and smiled. Right? And he can opt out. And they have been talking to him about an extension since March. And he hasn't signed anything. Okay, so I don't know. KP's 50-50 to me. He's 50-50. And that's about as good as you can get. He has no legal issues in New York, Isaac. Stop it, man. What, because he slapped some girl? Stop it. And nobody even knows about it. And it was even dismissed. Anyway, he got legal issues. He got in a fight at a club a couple of years ago, like 3-4 years ago. Come on, man. Stop it. The heck, some of y'all, man. He's got legal issues. No, you know who got legal issues? Miles Bridges got legal issues. That brother's talking about jail time. He's trying to avoid going to the cane. You're talking about legal issues. What you say, Organic? You talking about KP? He talking to his agent? Oh, I like that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They're allowed to talk to his agent. They ain't playing no more. They ain't playing no more. Yeah, again, Memphis, Ja. You're the Memphis general manager. Do you want to keep Ja Morant? This is a very simple question. You're the Memphis general manager with all that has happened. What would you do with Ja Morant? If you're the Memphis Grizzlies general manager, what would you do with Ja Morant? What would you do with him? You're the Memphis, you just signed him. He's a thug. Okay. You just signed him to a max extension. What would you do? What would you do? Let me tell you what I would do, and let me explain, and let you tell me if you agree with me, okay? Let me tell you what I would do. I just signed him to a max extension. He's got superstar talent, okay? He's got superstar talent. What I would do is I would make sure that I have people, adult people, talking to him. I would have strengths talking to him, counselors talking to him. I would get in his head and make sure he's okay. I would stay on him. I would stay on him, and he's coming back to my team next year. That's what I do with Ja Morant. There's no way I'm just trading him. Okay? You want to get the right. You want to get the right people around him. You want the right people to talk to him. Talk to his daddy. Talk to his people. Talk to him. And you're keeping him. Why? Because he's a transit talent. Okay? Transformational talent. You don't just trade him. Okay? So forget that. Okay? Forget that. Yeah. So you don't just let that go. There's been a lot worse guys in the NBA that they've kept around. So you don't just let that go. There's just no way I'm letting Ja Morant out of my sight. There's just no way. Okay. Yeah, well, talk to them both then. Talk to them both. So you get them talking and you get them understanding this is where we at. And I would say playing them. I would be real. Listen, you're a big investment for us. We feel like you can help this team run deep in the playoffs and maybe get a championship one day, but we need you to be on point mentally, and we got to discuss what the issues are. I would just be real with him. And listen, we want to keep you. Do you want to stay here? We want you here. Okay? So that's what I would say. Because Miles Bridges is a wife beater. Come on, Joe. Stop it. He's a wife beater. He beat up his woman in front of his kid. Okay? So no, we don't need to talk to Miles Bridges. Come on, man. You understand locker room? Can somebody explain to Joe Curry why that's a problem? Can somebody please explain why that's a problem? Joe Curry, you're a young man, so let me explain this to you, okay? This type of social issue will follow you into the locker room. The Knicks don't have drama in their locker room right now. They just built a new culture. You don't want to threaten your culture, because if you do and you create distractions, it will cause you losses. He's going to get booed every game at Madison Square Garden. You have to think about this, Joe. He's going to get booed every home game at Madison Square Garden, and he's going to get booed in away games as well. The only place he might get cheers is if we go play Charlotte. That's it. And he probably gets booed there. Okay? So he's going to have all kinds of issues coming back. You don't want that on your team. You got to think of more than just his stats. You got to think of what happens when he's on your team, especially this year. We don't have a year to waste for him to rebuild his reputation. Let the Hornets do that. They're in the bottom of the league anyway. Let them do that. But not us. We're further along than that. Okay? No, we could go into somebody that doesn't beat up their wives. That's all. KP would be beloved in New York. If KP came back, no, his brother's not his rep anymore. KP's brother don't rep him no more. If KP came back to New York, they would love him. He would be beloved. They're already begging him to stay in Washington. I'm not saying he don't deserve a second chance. Y'all confusing the issues. Those are two different issues. I'm saying we don't need that drama in New York. That's what I'm saying. We don't need that drama in New York. You understand? There's two different issues. Yes, I hope he gets a second chance with Charlotte. Let him get a second chance with Charlotte, but not in New York. Okay? Some of y'all, come on, man. Think a little clearer here. Get some clarity to thought. You don't want that drama in the New York locker room. You don't need it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Dio. You bring back KP, it's going to be off the chain. It's going to be crazy. They would love him. That's a different scene. This is not, just be real, this is not Miles Turner. This is a different scene. They would love him, man. And so the only real solid place for Miles Turner is Charlotte. He would need to go back to Charlotte and rebuild his reputation. That's what he has to do. And he should be thankful because they want him back. So that's the place where Miles Turner gets to rebuild his reputation and get his second chance. Okay? Not New York. Not New York. But KP, oh my God. KP. And I believe KP wants that second chance, but we're going to see if he signs the extension with Washington, well, that's over then. If he signs the extension with Washington, that's over. But to me, it's KP, then Grant, then Siakam, then OG. Those are my four guys. Coach Hauser, thanks, man, for the $10. That's what I'm saying. It's KP, then Grant, then Siakam, then OG and Anunoby. Those are the four guys I want. And I want KP number one. That's my guy right there. I would love to get him back. Love to get him back. Did I say? Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, Jabroni. Miles Bridges. Right. You're right. Jabroni. I was confusing the two guys. You're right. Miles Bridges. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love KP even still. They're allegations. He didn't get suspended by the NBA for that, did he? They did investigation. If they found something, they would have did something. So there's a difference between allegations and facts. Miles Bridges was going to get ready to go to jail because he pled guilty to beating up his woman. He pled no contest. Okay, so let's separate facts from fiction. KP was allegations. Nothing happened. With Miles Turner, he was caught. Woman face all beat up in front of his baby. Okay, so these are two different situations. Don't just try to be right. Let's be factual. All right, let's be factual. That's facts. No, Miles Bridges, Miles Turner. No, I'm all in on. Now listen, if we did get Miles Turner, I think you'd be disappointed. He's not as good during the season as you think he is. He's not. Y'all, some of y'all tripping. Look at his stats. If you've seen him on a regular basis, he's not as good as you think he is. Okay. but we'd have to keep Mitch Rob. I'd keep Mitch Rob and bring him in the second unit. Now, if I'm going to put Mitch Rob in the second unit, I want Joel Embiid starting, okay, or KP. But I don't do it for Miles Turner. Dio, thanks for $2. KP, the actual real origin of our Knicks rebuild. Yes, he is. Yes, they messed up with him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah. And so if in fact, my understanding, looking at the latest news on Miles Turner, is that he's decided he's going to stay with Indiana and they're going to keep him. So we don't need to talk about that. He's not even really going to be available because they decide to keep him and he's going to be with them. And he's not going to cost them, mega money either. No, DeJounte Murray's not going anywhere. He's going to stay in Atlanta. They just got him last year. What do y'all think, guys? Teams want to just play musical chairs with their best players? It doesn't work like that. They just got him last year. This is the first year with him in trade. They're actually looking more to trade than DeJounte. So no, DeJounte Murray's not going anywhere. He's not available. Okay. Yeah, I know, Dio. No, DeJounte Murray is not coming to New York. He's not coming to New York. Not going to happen. The Atlanta Hawks will probably try to give us their power forward. Who's that power forward they got? What's that guy that's their power forward for Atlanta? They try to get him to us, and I don't want him. They talking about what's the boy name? They talking about John Collins. They try to put Collins for Randle. They I don't want Collins. No, I don't want him. I got Obi. I don't need Collins. I got Obi. I'll take Obi over John Collins. To me, that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about trading Randle for Collins, you're giving up on Obi. I'm not giving up on Obi. I want Obi. Yeah, I want Obi. Right, and play Murray weird. Exactly, P. Styles. Thank you for thinking about that. Very good. Very good. Very good. See? Y'all can pay attention to P. Styles. He asked the right questions. That's it. Y'all just talking about adding people to the roster with no thought about where they're going to play and what you're going to do to your roster. And why would the other team do that? Atlanta's not doing that. They want to give you the leprechaun. They'll give you the leprechaun. I don't want the leprechaun. I got Brunson. What I need the leprechaun for? I got Brunson. So, yeah, no leprechaun, no DeJounte Murray. We're good. But no, Seth Curry off the bench, Buddy Hield off the bench. That means you must lose people off your bench. Who are you losing? If you think they're going to get rid of Hart, which I don't think so, and IQ, and I'll tell you that's impossible, then you get a Seth Curry. If you think they're going to lose Hart and IQ, then you get a Seth Curry. Otherwise, there's no need for Seth Curry. I don't want Alec Burks because somehow, for some reason, Tibbs seems to think he's a point guard. No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't want Alec Burks. I've heard people talk about Alec Burks. No, thank you. See, I'm not pining for the shooting like some other people. I'm just not. I'm not pining. Oh, we're desperate for shooting. We just got to get shooting. That's what caused us to get Evan Fournier. We don't need it the way y'all think. The way some platforms think we need shooting, I'm not tripping like that. I like what I got in Quentin Grimes, Allen Houston 2.0. I like what I got in Jalen Brunson. And if we can get KP, we don't need to talk about no more shooting. We good. Okay, we good. Yes, we need more ball movement. Angry Jenkins, that's exactly right. We need better ball movement. And just moving Julius Randle improves that immensely. Just moving Julius Randle improves your ball movement. Okay, yes. Yeah, I'm sure Leprechaun showed up, but I don't need no short dude with no defense on my team. I already got one. I got Jalen Brunson. What y'all keep mentioning Leprechaun for? What are we even wasting breath on that? Shit. You understand? What's wrong with y'all? Act like y'all got some sense. Yeah, but our shooting number is dreadful. Exaggerate much. Brunson's shooting numbers ain't dreadful. And if you get, and I already showed y'all, if you get Grimes 10, 12 more touches a game, his shooting numbers ain't dreadful. RJ's is, I agree with that. Randall's is, I agree with that. But no, you're replacing Randall with KP, solves the problem. Problem solved. Okay? And I don't know what people are talking about. Obi could shoot the rock. He just needs minutes, man. Don't y'all know that? Obi could shoot the rock. He just needs minutes. Oh, Angry Knicks, I'm sorry to inform you. This is the best opportunity to trade that mofo. And he might be gone this summer. Sorry to inform you. Because Siakam, OG, KP, and Grant are all better than him. Sorry to inform you, they're better fits with New York than Julius Randle is. The ball would move with any of those guys better than Julius Randle. Nah, he ain't hurt too often. I'll take it. I'll take KP. I'll take KP right now. KP right now. Right now. Take that, brother. You can have Julius. Give me KP. Set. Done. Right now. Yo, Gumby actually said he finished with Julius. He said he's no longer the president of the Randle Hive. Gumby, the last time I had discussions with Gumby, he said he's no longer the president of the Randle Hive. Like he gave up on his boy. Yeah, he gave up on his boy. You believe that? He gave up on his boy. He gave up on his boy. Randle had him all hyped after that, playoff performance. Yep. Yeah, he did, man. He's like, I'm finished with Randle. I'm finished with Randle. We're all finished with him. Maybe it was just the emotions after that last game against Miami, but he was really upset about Randle. He just wasn't having it no more. Yeah, that's what he was saying, man. He's like, I'm done with Randle. I'm done with Randle. I know. My brother, I was like, don't worry, man. He came into some of y'all were there. He came into the Bible study with that. Remember that? He came in the Bible study. I'm done with Randle. I'm done with Randle. He was so upset. I think it was a week ago this past Friday. Right? Superstar was there. I think it was a week ago this past Friday. He came in there and I said, man, we're not talking about basketball. Man, I'm done with Randle, man. I'm done raw. He was upset, man. My brother was upset with Randle, man. He was pouring out of him. He was so mad. Oh, man. Yeah, he did, Dio. He came in. I was like, bro, we're not talking about basketball today. Man, I was like, all right, I'm sorry. But I'm just done with Randle. I'm done with him. Oh, shoot. Yeah, he did that, Miss Stevenson. He definitely did. I got witnesses in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. People was there because it was a Friday night. And he came in and he was upset. Oh, I felt bad for him, man. So, brother, don't worry. It's all right, man. It's all right. My man was really on the bridge right there with Randle. Oh, God. Okay, so I think we got, so I'm looking for KP, Grant, Siakam, OG. Those are still the guys. Forget Cat, forget Zion, forget Ingram, forget Miles Bridges. Those ain't working. Forget Bogdanovich. Please forget that. Forget Paul George. That ain't working. So we all agree we got our guys, right? So hopefully one of these guys would work. Embiid, like I said, I'm only giving up Randle, draft capital, and the piece like maybe Hartenstein for Embiid. I'm not giving up all my youngins. Some of y'all throwing all our youngins in there, you knuckleheads. I'm not throwing all my youngins in there for no daggone Embiid. I'm not doing it. But Randle, sure. Hartenstein, yep. 3 or 4 draft picks, yep. Start Obi next to him, good. We good to go. I would do it for that. Yes, I would. But I'm trading RJ. I'm not trading Obi. I'm not trading IQ. Well, James Harris, we're going to see what happens. Some of y'all are on last year's tip. Now, last year, I admit it, Randle ain't going nowhere. But this summer is different. This is a different summer. This is 2023. And if you can get KP, Grant, or Siakam, or OG for Randle, you're going to do that this summer. You're going to do that. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm not doing it for Levine. No, I'm not doing it for Levine. And we already decided we're not doing it for DeRozan. So, not doing it for DeRozan. Okay, so, yeah, I'm not. I don't think, actually, that's a good question. Michael Drake asked, do you believe that Dolan has changed his views on Randle? I don't know, but I think Dolan is leaving this up to Leon, and he won't interfere. That's what I'm saying. Dolan is leaving this up to Leon, and he won't interfere. So if Leon says we can go get KP, bring KP back for Julius, I don't think there's going to be any opposition to that. I don't think there's any opposition. Okay. to that. So KP brings us to the Eastern Conference Finals. Y'all need to wake up. Some of y'all need to wake up. Even 60 games of KP brings us to the Eastern Conference Finals. So, yeah. Yeah, but KP has a higher IQ, better ball movement, way better three-point shooter, better rim protection. It's not even close. I'll take 60 games of KP versus 77 games of Julius Randle. I guess that's what it comes down to, isn't it? I'll take 60 games of Kristaps Porzingis rather than 77 games of Julius Randle because I got Obi Toppin. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Cherokee, thanks for the $5. If Julius is traded, I can see his son stomping on the next level. Yes, yes, he probably will. He probably will. The little tyke probably will. Yep. But he can go to Washington and him and his wife can kiss after every game. That's what I'm saying. You got, I'm not with any of those players, Danny Holmes. None of them is going to take us to the next level. But KP, Grant, Siakam, OG, they could do it. Especially the first three. OG is probably a little light, but Siakam, Grant, and KP, any of those guys can take us. Now, I think Grant will probably re-sign with Portland because Dame Dollar's probably in his ear, and Dame Dollar wants to run that man back one more time and see if they can add something. But KP, Siakam, we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Julius plays 77 games in the regular season. KP plays 65. I'll take 65 games or 60 games of KP than 77 games of Julius Randle. If you're talking about injury prone, I'll take 60 games of KP and let Obi start 22 games. Then take 77 games of Julius Randle, Obi paying 15 minutes. I'll do that every day. No question. Especially if it's the same money. No question. No question. Not even worry about that. Okay. Yeah, the Knicks do have multiple options, Joe Castillo. Absolutely. Jose Castillo. Yes, they do. Multiple options. Yeah, I ain't worried about Embiid until it actually happens. But like I said, I'm only trading Julius and another piece. I'm not giving up my youngins for Embiid. I'll give him a lot of draft capital, but I'm not giving up my youngins for Embiid. I'm not doing it. I know all the commentators are going to be asking you to, gut your cover for Embiid. No, we're not doing it. I don't think the Don is going to do that. Yep, KP can mentor Obi, but not that Obi needs that much mentoring, but I'm not worried about that. Yeah, so, yeah, that's what I'm saying. KP probably play 28 minutes. You're going to give Obi 20 minutes every game, and then KP's not going to play every game. You're going to get at least 22 games of Obi starting. That's excellent. You could do that. We could do that. So I like it. My dream starting lineup for next year, KP at the 4, Mitch Robb at the 5, RJ at the 3, Grimes at the 2, Brunson at the 1, Obi Toppin coming off the bench with a Hartenstein, and Deuce. Emmanuel Quickley, Deuce, Hart, and Obi. Hartenstein would probably be traded this summer, I would think. But that's what I would do. I would definitely, my starting 5 would be KP, Mitch Robb, RJ, Grimes, and Brunson. And that is 50-plus wins. With the bench we have, that is 50-plus wins. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, KP could do that. And then you'd have lineups where you have Obi, KP, and then you'd have, Hart, Jeremy Grant. I think you're talking about Jeremy Grant, Chef, New York. Ingram is not available, so we can forget Ingram. McBride, I'm trying to get him into the 9-man rotation. That's why y'all keep mentioning players that's going to steal minutes from him, and I keep saying no, because y'all not thinking about Deuce, and I am. I'm thinking about Deuce. We can, Earl Thomas, we can, but it'll probably be a sign with a trade for Washington. And so that's what I'm saying. They really don't have much choice but to take Julius, and so they'd have to. So I do that. Houston might trade his pick. A lot of teams might trade picks. We'll see what happens. This draft is pretty deep at the top, but I don't think it's as deep as people think it is. Okay, I'm not as high on it as some people. The Amen brothers are good. Amen and Asur, the 2 twins are all right. Of course, you got the top dude is good. Scoot is that guy. And then that other kid, BP, whatever his name is. They're pretty good. But I'm not as high on this draft. I like the draft that we got Grimes in. I was very high on that draft. Still high on that one. Okay. Brandon Miller. Yeah, that's the BM. That's what I'm talking about. Brandon Miller, the Thompson twins, Wembanyama and Scoop. Those are your guys in this draft. I like Chris Murray. I like Chris Murray and I like Hendricks. Hendricks is going to be good in 3 years. He's not going to be ready for prime time this year. He's going to be a G League guy, but he's going to be good in 3 years. But Chris Murray is a solid bench piece, a little lighter than his brother. His brother's much better, Keegan, but Chris is no joke either. I like him coming off the bench. No, I don't. Jet Howard, no. It's all right. It's just for this year deal. We'll get it next year. They're going to be finishing better next year, I suspect. I think they'll be in the top 8 next year, probably, Dallas. So we'll get the pick. We won't get it this year. We'll get it next year. That's not a big deal, really. Yeah. So I think we'll be right. I'm not as worried about losing Dallas pick this year. It ain't the end of the world. We'll get it next year. Okay. Yeah, I like Hendricks. I like him a lot. I think 2 or 3 years from now, he's going to be a player. Right now, he's a development. He's what they call project, but he's not a project that can fail. I like him as a strong project. Levine, $200 million? No, thank you. No. $215 million? Hell no. I'm not. No. We can get better without paying $250 million to get Levine. No, thank you. I don't know what happens to D Rose. I hope the best. I wish he stays as a coach, but he's not going to be on the Knicks. Well, don't draw conclusions because you see Tibbs at the combine. They're going to do their due diligence. They're going to go to the combine. That doesn't mean they're going to choose anybody. He went to combines last year. They had all kinds of players come in and they didn't make a pick last year. So yeah, let's not get carried away because you see something at the combine. Okay. Yeah, Johnny Davis. Some of y'all wanted us to draft him last year. I told you no. I told you he's not really NBA level ready, and he's not. So forget Johnny Davis. Yeah. We're good though. We're good. Between Brunson, IQ, and Deuce, we don't need. And you know what? Some of y'all, if you don't know me by now, you should know there's nobody in this draft that's going to get playing time as a rookie. Nobody. So what do y'all? I don't know why y'all keep looking at these guys. There's nobody in this draft that's going to play if they were on the Knicks this year. They're not going to play. Okay, so it's not going to happen. Yeah, and Fournier know he's going to get traded. So yeah. So we got what we need, y'all. We just need to tweak, and all we need is that one piece. To me, we can just move Julius and replace him with either KP, Grant, or Siakam. We're good. We're good. We're good. No, Spoelstra don't play his pick. Some of y'all was tripping about that dude. What's that dude? Joke Fix they got? He ain't playing for Spoelstra. He was their prize rookie last year. So we got to draft this guy. This guy's gonna be great. And this guy sat at the end of the bench for Miami. So no, he don't play. He don't play his rookies either. I'm saying, man. Some of you, Nicole, what's his name? Jovic? What's that boy's name? 6'10" from Europe. Some of y'all was pining, we got to draft him. Oh, he's going to be great. And he's riding the pine in Miami. Undrafted players playing ahead of him. Yeah, Nicholas Jovic. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. He said, see, it ain't like Spo plays his rookies either. He play who he think he's going to help him win. Just like our guy. Just like Tibbs. Yeah. So anyway, time for me to get ready to pick up my friends. But hey, it's been fun. Always is, Knicks Nation. And I'm telling you, this summer is going to be hot. It's going to stay hot. All the way until the end of July, it's going to be hot in the NBA. Y'all going to see a whole bunch of stuff happen this summer. And the Knicks is probably going to be in the midst of it this summer. Because this is the year right here. Yeah, thank you, Castillo. Thank you, Isaac Smith, and all y'all. Been fun, man. Been fun. So the Knicks gonna be in the midst of it this year, man. I'm telling you, this is the year. Good evening, Nancy, Miss Stevenson. Yeah, this is the year right here. This is more than any other year. So Julius is gonna get moved. It's gonna be this summer. So we're going to see. There's too many good guys out there. So we're going to see what happens, man. Y'all, please be safe this rest of this weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Please, you and your family, enjoy yourselves without watch your back. Make sure you don't go into no situations. We're trading Evan Fournier, part of a package to try to get something back. Hopefully, with Julius Randle to get something back, like a KP, like a Grant, like a Siakam, something like that. Salute to all y'all. I appreciate all the likes too. Thank you very much. Shalom.